going to start reading poems, and I might finish reading poems from my new book. My new book is called Writers Writing Dying. And a lot of the poems are about writers, which I thought this was an appropriate place because as far as I can tell, everybody in this room is a writer. The first poem is called Whacked. Every morning of my life I sit at my desk getting whacked by some great poet or other. Some Yeats, some Auden, some Herbert or Larkin, and lately a whole tribe of others, boy, younger than me, whacked, wiped out, every day. I mean, since becoming a poet, I mean wanting to. One never is really a poet, or I'm not when I'm trying to write. Though then comes a line, maybe another, but still pops up again, Yeats say, and again, whacked. Wait, old brain in my head, I'd forgotten that whacked in crime movies means murdered, rubbed out by the mob. Little the mob guys would think that poets could do it, and who'd believe that instead of running away, you'd find yourself fleeing towards them. Some sweet-seeming bishop who sang so, but whack. You're stampeding again through her poems like a Mustang, whacked so hard that you bash the already broken crown of your head on the roof of your stall. What a relief to read for a while some bad poems. Still, I try not to. Bad, whackless poems can hurt you, can say you're all right when you're not, can condone your poet coward who compulsively asks if you're all right. Am I all right? Not wasting your time. Am I wasting time? Though you know you are wasting time if you're not being whacked. Bad poems let you off that. The confessional mode now. I've read reams. I've written as many. Meanwhile, this morning, this very moment, I'm thinking of George Herbert composing. I see him by himself in some candlelit chamber, unbearably lonely to us, but glorious to him, and he's hunched over scribbling, and the room's filling with poems whacking at me, and Herbert's not even paying attention as the huge tide of them rises and engulfs me in warm tangles of musical down, as from the breast of the choiry dawn tangling larks. Lovely enchanting language, sugar cane, whack, the sweet strains, the lullings, oh whack. Lowell or Keats, Rilke or Wordsworth or Wyatt, whack, 50 years of it. Old racehorse, plug hauling its junk. Isn't it time to be put out to pasture? But I'd still, if I could, lie down like a mare giving birth, arm in my own uterine channel to tug out another. One more, only one more, poor damp little poem. Then I'll be happy. I promise. I swear. I'm trying to figure out which ones to read, though. I'm trying to read ones. Exhaust. There's references to writers in all the poems. Often when I'm reading to kids, I'll explain who they are, but you mostly know, I'm sure. Exhaust. My grandson wants a Ferrari. I buy one for him. Why not? The second, a Mercedes. The third, a Porsche. Why not? How things change. My grandfather wanted only the pickup. One icy Rochester night, the year before I was born, he skidded through a gate in and plowed head-on into a train. My grandson's cars cost $1, part of a vast collection of racers, convertibles, trucks, even antiques from the time I had my first car, a 5-year-old ungainly green Chevy, not like Lowell's father's spanky new one with golden hoofs, wrote Lowell, and slashingly, his best friend. I treasured my Chevy too, though it plodded compared to a friend's Olds that sped us one New Year's Eve after the parties down the parkway at 110. My grandfather, I gather, was vain of his truck and his driving, but my grandmother would grumble he was a terrible driver. We were good drivers, we were certain, better than good. Didn't we all but live in our cars? Wasn't the best part even of a date when you made out with your girlfriend in back? Right now, hitting 100, don't we love each other for how our tires are glued to the pavement and life has no end? I hadn't seen Warhol's print yet of mangled teenagers spilled from their wreck. I didn't see much then beyond cars, like my grandsons who know every make, model, top speed, and 0 to 60 by heart, and who'll squabble because one has stolen another's X something or something. My grandfather was a socialist when that word still could be used. He even ran for state senate, though not surprisingly lost. He was hardly well off, with a store that sold candy and papers, and why he needed that broken down truck my grandmother still complained on her deathbed was a mystery to her. The first time I was almost killed in a car, an axe was sheared, our back wheel bounced past us, we spun out of control over a busy highway and pulled up a yard from a tree, much like the tree in the photo of the death of Camus, with his publisher's sports car gruesomely wrapped around it. Such a short time between my automobile madness and my rapture reading Camus, Sisyphus telling me why suicide wasn't the route, though at the time it could seem so. What did he say exactly? I don't think there was much about love, which would be my reason now. Love, family, poetry, art. I sometimes imagine my Chevy was devoted to me like a dog. That was before death arrived, mine and everyone else's. Anne Sexton's father died in a car. Dear Anne made certain tutu. Paula Zebald, Nathaniel West, Tom Mix, for God's sakes. Me nearly 4 times, and my grandfather, Charles Casden, whom for the first time I miss, and whom, if I'd been there, I know I could have saved. Pump the brakes gently, I tell him, and we glide up to the rails and wait in the beautiful snow. He'd offer some wisdom to hand on to my grandsons, the train clattering by us, the mingling steam